If you're the dependent, you can work for, if you want to work 24 hours, it's really up to you. In fact, this is one of the biggest pros of UK student visa. If you have a dependent, if you're married, so your spouse is free to work however many hours. They're free to take up almost any job. I know in your visa it tells you what you can't, the jobs you can't take. I remember when I was on dependent visa, it said something like you can't do a dentist work. But other than that, yes, you can work for however many hours you want until you're tired. And believe me, a lot of people actually do that. And eventually you'll realize how many hours you can work in truth, and you stick to that. Yeah, but you can work however many hours you can. It depends on the reason why you're needing a guarantor. If it's regards to the pay, or you being able to pay for the accommodation, even though you can pay it, if your income based on what you show them you earn doesn't meet up the threshold, they will assume you can't pay, and they need someone they can hold responsible if you can't pay. So if that's the case, then the thing to do is to earn more money to meet up the threshold. If it's because you haven't really rented in the UK and the landlord is quite they are not very comfortable giving out the apartment, then maybe go for a house share in the first instance. And then after a while, when you've got some a solid reference, then you can go for your own apartment, and you should be good to go. Unfortunately, the answer is no. And the reason is, when in this part of the world, when you rent a place, or when you actually hire an accommodation, they ask you how many people are going to be living here. So for example, if it's you and a spouse, both of you need to be on the lease agreement as the two people who will be living there, and then both of you would get a key to the apartment. You will have equal right to the apartment. Now in the student accommodation, you will be the only one on the lease agreement, which means your partner can come there and stay, but they can come and visit, but they can't stay because they are not on the lease agreement, and I don't think they would agree to put them on the lease agreement either. So the answer is no. Before you apply for a course and start and make all the preparation, honestly do a search as to the course you are hoping to study. If you want to stay in the UK, you need to do this search. Go to the shortage occupation list. Your best chance of staying is that the job or the course you're studying is something that is required in the country. So which means when you finish, there will be a lot of people who are looking for someone that have your knowledge and your qualification, and they are looking to hire you. And if they hire you, because they are desperate, the reason why they're on the shortage occupation list in the first place is because they can't find people within the UK to do the job which they're hiring you for. So if that is the case, there is a very high chance they will sponsor you. If they sponsor you, then that's you will be able to stay. If you study something that there is no demand for it in the country, then chances are you won't even find a job in that field, let alone find someone who is able to sponsor you. Because for them to sponsor you, most times they have to show that they can't find someone to do the job you're doing, someone in the UK already who is a citizen who can do the job you're going to be doing. Most landlords will be looking that the guarantor is a citizen or someone who is settled here. And then the guarantor has to be willing to show that they earn a certain amount of money. They need to be willing to provide whatever paperwork the landlord is looking for. So yes, as long as they are within the UK, I don't think it matters. It won't be only you. I can guarantee you that even people who are natives here, they struggle with some of the accents. I remember once I was working with some group of people in a school, and then one of the ladies, she told me of someone who came to work in the department, and none of them could understand what the person was saying, and they are all from here. They are native Scots. So don't worry too much about it. It's just a matter of, if you're amongst the people and you listen to them say things over and over again, eventually it will click, and then you get to understand it more and more. If you're on a visa, your visa would say no recourse to public funds. And what that means is you are not entitled to public fund, and that's what benefit would be. As long as you're on a student visa, or a work visa and you are still not settled, no, you cannot claim any benefit.